If you're a man between 30 and 60 years old, you might be surprised to learn about the 10 intimate activities that many modern men enjoy the most. And a few of them might be things you never expected. But before we dive into the list, I want to make one thing clear. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a sex therapist. I'm just someone who collects and shares research from credible sources like Harvard, large national surveys, and insights from licensed marriage counselors. If you care about men's health, want to understand yourself better, understand women better, and learn the truths that men rarely get to hear, hit subscribe right now. I share things that help you understand yourself more deeply, understand the woman beside you better, and rebuild the intimacy you truly deserve. According to a large national study, the first and most common activity is vaginal intercourse. This is the most natural form, the most intimate, and the most widely practiced. There's nothing strange about it, nothing unusual, nothing wrong with it at all. Many men between 30 and 60 love this traditional form of closeness, but many have confided something different to me. They say, "My wife doesn't want sex anymore," or "We haven't touched each other in 9 years." That kind of pain runs deep. So, after talking about what men enjoy, we need to talk about something more important: why men get rejected. And the answer isn't as simple as you might think. Women often carry enormous emotional loads after marriage: children, household duties, all the small daily tasks. When their minds are exhausted, their desire shuts down immediately. Hormones also play a major role: stress, lack of sleep, childbirth, and declining hormones. All of these drain desire. Men connect through sex, but women need to feel connected before they want sex. Women also fear becoming an obligation. If they feel pressured, their desire drops to almost zero. And many men feel lonely right inside their own homes. No hugs, no touch, no warm looks like before. A quiet loneliness that's hard to put into words. Science has proven this. Harvard notes that when women are stressed, their sexual hormones drop sharply. Japanese American sensate focused therapy adds more. When a woman's mind closes, her body closes too. She says no to protect herself, not because of you. I'm not an expert, but I've read extensive research from these credible sources, and what they say is very clear. Women don't lack desire for intimacy. They just need the right emotional conditions first. So, what do women really want? The answer lies in emotion, not technique. Women respond to emotion. They need safety, respect, the feeling of being seen. They remember your eyes, your slow touch, your breath, your gentleness, and your appreciation. Not positions, not techniques. Harvard calls this responsive desire. Women only feel desire after their emotions are awakened. Tantra teaches the same thing. A woman's sexual energy opens when she feels valued, seen, and safe. A slow hug, a gentle word, a genuine look, these things pull her closer. So, what do you need to do? To rebuild intimacy in your relationship, be truly present. Listen without arguing, look without being defensive, touch without an agenda, touch to connect, touch to love. Show her you choose her every day. She loses desire when she feels coldness, judgment, pressure, or lack of appreciation. She becomes engaged when she feels safe, unjudged, desired, and valued. But when a man isn't touched, when his needs are ignored for too long, he often finds another way to cope. And the second thing on this list is masturbation. More than 80% of men and women have masturbated in their lifetime. In the past month, about 64% of men and about 41% of women have done it. According to the research I've read, there's no right number or perfect frequency. You do it when you want and stop when you feel satisfied. This is a normal part of sexual life. There's nothing shameful about it. Many people do this as a way to relieve stress, explore their bodies, or simply because they lack intimacy in their relationship. And if we're talking about other intimate activities that many people enjoy, we can't skip the next one: oral sex. More than 80% of adults have engaged in this activity. This is one of the most common and beloved forms of intimacy. However, according to information from credible health organizations, this activity can still transmit sexually transmitted infections. If you don't fully trust your partner, you can use condoms or dental dams for protection. I'm not telling you what to do or not do. I'm just sharing information from medical sources so you can decide how to best protect yourself. And when it comes to intimacy, there's something many men admit they've watched: Adult content. About 82% of men and about 60% of women have watched pornography. The important part isn't whether you watch, but understanding why you watch and not letting it replace real intimacy. Many studies I've read show that watching too much can affect how you view real relationships, real women's bodies, and deep intimacy. Adult content isn't sinful, but if it becomes the only way you feel pleasure, it might be time to rethink your relationship with it. Now, let's talk about simpler ways to refresh desire in a relationship. Sexy lingerie, for instance. About 75% of women and about 26% of men have worn something sexy for their partner. This is a simple way to renew desire. What about sending or receiving nude photos? About 65% of men and about 54% of women have sent or received nude or semi-nude photos. This comes with risks, so if you do this, only do it with someone you completely trust. And here's something interesting. I've also read that many women prefer reading erotic stories over watching. About 57% of adults have read these stories. But if we're talking about more exciting and slightly adventurous experiences, there's one activity many people have tried at least once: sex in public places. About 43% of adults have done this. Why is this appealing? According to research I've found, people often feel more excited when they try something new or different. In intimacy, a new environment can create stronger arousal than a familiar bedroom. The biggest psychological factor is the thrill of almost getting caught. The combination of risk and excitement increases adrenaline, making desire much more intense. Marriage counselor Dr. Dawn Michael says that intimate moments in unusual places can boost dopamine levels, the brain's pleasure chemical. But here's what's important for you to know. Public spaces like parks, movie theaters, and shopping malls are not safe or appropriate. They can disturb others and may even be illegal. If someone wants to explore this fantasy, they must plan carefully and choose private, discreet locations to stay safe and respectful to everyone. Some safer ideas are a private balcony at night, inside a parked car with curtains, a quiet area on the beach at night, or a camping spot in the woods. These ideas keep the sense of adventure, but in a safer and more respectful way. And when talking about less common activities that still interest many people, anal sex is one of them. About 43% of men and about 30% of women have tried it at least once. According to medical information I've gathered, this activity can create pleasure because this area contains many sensitive nerve endings. But it's also a higher risk activity if not done correctly. The anus doesn't produce natural lubrication, and the tissue is very thin and delicate. Without enough lubricant, or if it's too forceful, it can cause tearing, bleeding, and significantly increase infection risks. To stay safe, always use water-based lubricant, always use condoms, start slowly so muscles can relax. If there's unusual pain, stop immediately. The most important thing is both partners' comfort. And finally, let's talk about the least known activities: light spanking, role play, and group activities. About 30% of people have tried light spanking. Pain and pleasure share similar neural pathways, but consent is essential. About 22% have role played. About 20% have tied or been tied. About 13% have used light impact play. What about threesomes and group sex? About 18% of men and about 10% of women have tried threesomes. Sex parties in larger groups are under 8%. 1 or 2 people out of every 10 have tried something like this. But the risks, especially sexually transmitted infections, are higher. Anyone who tries this must know how to protect themselves. And before we end, let me say this clearly. You're not wrong. You're not shameful. Your sexual preferences are signs of a healthy male libido. If you've been rejected, ignored, or left alone in silence, that doesn't define your worth. You have emotions. You have needs. You deserve closeness, and you deserve to be desired. If this video helped you understand yourself better and you want more honest, warm conversations like this, hit subscribe. I'll be here sharing the things men deserve to hear but rarely get the chance to.